what's going on, you guys? It is what it is. Another week in wrestling. It is the Flow Show for the love of wrestling, man. Brian Andrew Macklow and of course Quincy Jones. Go. We back, man, and we had another week in wrestling. We had quite a few things going down. I mean, like I told you, I don't really have a whole lot on the news front. I saw some things, Iconics going to, or I'm sorry, the inspiration. I'm sorry.
That sums up wrestling. I saw some things.
That's like the highlight of the news. Is like that's the benchmark for this week. Is the inspiration?
Is Bound for Glory today?
Is it? I don't think. Oh shit! Is it? I forgot.
I'll Google that. What great wrestling content?
I mean, because if that's what it is, how are we not even like on the radar about it? Like that's crazy. Their promo game.
What channel is it on? Quick.
Twitch.
Twitch. I think they do Instagram Live. I don't know.
Instagram. They got a bunch of cell phones.
It is today.
Wow.
They do versus battles
at Sam's Town Live in Sunrise Manor.
Oh wait,
Nevada. Where is Sunrise Manor, Nevada?
Well, Sam's Town is in Vegas, and I've been there quite a few times. They had Ring of Honor usually does shows out there. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
But they did. I'll put it like this: they did a good job with the camera work. Where when they have had anniversary shows there, you're like, this place looks pretty nice, and you get there, you're like, oh, this is a set. Yeah, they used to move him. Oh man, we got Christian Cage versus Josh Alexander. Is that
the only person I rock with over there? Is Chris Bay.
What's an option C World Championship match?
So that was introduced by Austin Aries, which is
cashing in the.
Yeah,
I didn't know they still did that.
I didn't know they still did that either, because usually they like to wipe their hands of people they don't want to do business with anymore. But everyone knows that that's Austin.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a great idea.
It was a great idea, 100%. And I mean, I know people feeling different about Austin Aries. I know he has his own views as well about everything going on. But professional wrestling wise, he's always been one of my favorites. But yeah, option C, I'm pretty happy to see that that's still a thing. Let me see, Good Brothers versus Finn Juice versus Bullet Club. Isn't that Bullet Club versus Bullet Club?
Well, Good Brother. Wait, is Finn Juice part of Bullet Club?
No, but it says Bullet Club because it's Chris Bay and Hikuleo. So it's a triple threat tag match. Good Brothers versus Finn Juice, which is David Finlay and Juice Robinson versus Bullet Club in Chris Bay.
That's what happens when the game gets too big. That's how you end up.
This is when you get NWO Express and then NWO 2000 and then the Wolfpack and LWO.
Too many.
You get the fake Sting that just rolls with the crew for some reason. Heath and TBA, which I'm sure will be Rhino because they've been teasing that, versus Violent by Design, which is Eric Young, and Joe Doring. I like Joe Doring actually. He's a little throwback.
This Call Your Shot Gauntlet match is probably gonna be the match of the night.
Wait, what is it? Dude, I don't know why I was like, did you say cauliflower gauntlet match?
Hey man,
Call Your Shot.
It's my congestion right now.
Let me see. Rich Swann, Brian Myers, Moose. We're just gonna call him Big Cass. Chris Sabin.
Moose.
It says versus 15 others to be announced.
It says 15 TBA competitors. I don't know if that's. I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, you are in the vicinity, Max. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I drive past there all the time,
bro. Like, I will say, shout out to Samsung because y'all got the best bucket of beer price for sure. You get like 12 of them for like $20, bro. Like, yeah, it's. I mean, like when you go there with like 3 homies and y'all like. Hey, y'all want to get a bucket? Like $20 between 3 of y'all. All y'all get at least 4 beers. Like, you good?
Pull up. See if I can make my debut.
I mean, they may have that might be the pay instead of the hot dog and a handshake. Let me just get the bucket, bro.
This is like it's a pretty cool card.
But the winner receives a trophy and a contract.
Yeah,
they can invoke anytime within a year.
It's like Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Call Your Shot. Okay, I'm not mad at the name. Deonna Purrazzo versus Mickie James.
Put me in that match.
Yeah, singles match. This is actually what Mickie James second time wrestling since being released, I think. Because I think she was on that card for the Empower for what's the name, NWA. Who the hell is John Schuyler? Who are all these people? See, I don't
John Schuyler.
It says tournament final intergender 6-way match for the okay. they made a championship that looks almost exactly like the AEW championship, but it's called the Impact Digital Media Championship. Why do they need this?
Why is it called digital media? Because that's just
why do we?
I mean,
I don't like that.
I mean, in my head, I'm like, is this just a Twitch championship that you only defend like online, or I mean, what?
Oh, is it?
It's the up, down championship.
No,
I don't. It's so. I mean, because
it's playing Call of Duty for it, or
John Schuyler versus Crazy Steve versus Fala Ba versus Jordan Grace versus Chelsea Green versus Madison Rain. So you're telling me that this is an intergender championship as well? Then
can I be honest? What's better, the Digital Media Championship or the TBS?
I knew this was
TNT Championship.
Well, I'll put like in terms of design, I'd pick the Digital Media one, but in terms of names, just by default, I have to go with the TBS.
When they name the title after the channel, it feels weird. I know it used to be called the TV title, but this is.
I mean, honestly, I would have felt better. I would have felt better if they called the TBS Championship a TV title, at least for the women. I think that would have been cool. I think we can live with the TNT joint, because I think the thing with that is you got the pun of Dynamite TNT, you know what I mean? So but the TBS, I was like, oh, so we're just making this is what we're just making we're just going to proambelts.com and
they haven't figured out I was gonna say they haven't figured out the women's division yet either. So why are you introducing more titles?
It feels weird. When I was a kid and they used to be like the Rose Bowl, it sounded like prestigious when you watched the Rose Bowl in January, right? But then it was like the Tostitos Bowl, and it's like that literally sounds like a bowl of chips. We probably shouldn't call it that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, oh, at the Quaker Bowl, like what, a bowl of oatmeal? What we talking, bro? Like, there's I used to be like that too. I'm like, nah, if it ain't the Super Bowl or the Rose Bowl.
Why not just give the title either a region or a weight class, so it sounds like everything else?
I just don't think they should have. Like I said, I think if it was the TV championship, that'd have been great. But like I think we talked about it before, it's already bigger than the what's supposed to be the main title for the women, which that's already a problem. And then on the other end too, they already been introducing like crossover with the NWA Women's Championship, which has kind of almost been defended as many times as their own championship. You know what I mean? So it's
which is kind of a good 1B championship to win.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like the same thing with like Christian Cage with the Impact Championship, right?
Which I'm saying is like, you know what, when you bring these other championships in, you don't necessarily need to have your own mid-card championship when you have other championships someone else could win. Like if someone from AEW won the X Division Championship, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Like, that actually would be pretty cool if they did that. If they like, integrated some like the Matt Seidels and like even someone like Dante Martin. You know what I mean?
Right.
Who they've been doing
and I've been actually advocating low key, because I'm not gonna die on this hill. So I'm just gonna be real about it. Is they should have an AEW Dark champion, like because they have like 15 hours of fucking dark every week. Like if you give that to like Jungle Boy, and Jungle Boy is your first AEW Dark champion, and it just gets defended weekly on Dark, it's the main event on Dark.
I feel like it'd have to go to QT. He's the MVP over there. I don't know. No. But I hear what you're saying, because to be honest, it would give me a reason to even want to. Because I used to, like, when it first started, I would watch it. You know what I mean? Right. But then they got a second show on TV, so I'm like, I kind of don't need to watch it because I'm getting my second fill of it already. You know what I mean? And then they started really stacking these dark like episodes. I'm like, bro, y'all doing way too much. Like, I don't, y'all putting people on the card. Like some people I know, some people that I'll watch for because I'm fans of them, like on the indie scene, but other people like, or other people I book too. You know what I mean? But then there's people where I'm like, I don't need to watch that. Like
Dark is for people who don't watch WWE and have too much time on their hands. Like that's
because they be coming on like when your homies go live on Instagram. You'd be like, "What y'all doing? Nothing. We about to have a dark show."
Yeah, like
all right.
Because
like it's like that room, like they do those different rooms on Twitter now. It's like
you can have a dark.
AEW started a dark room to join the dark room. And you're like, oh, what's popping over here? Like
you could do
started like 7:17. Like
you could have it only defended on Dark, and maybe like the buy-in show on every pay-per-view, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it would definitely give you a reason to check it out.
Like if
mean,
they're gonna, I feel like if they're gonna introduce a title, that should be one of them. But I'm not gonna die on that hill.
should have not
become the first BET champion.
BET. Well, I was gonna say, I'm like, you would think they would just take their custom BTE championship and just put that on, since it's already on YouTube.
I'm gonna be the BET champion, brought to you by
Hennessy
Do-Rags.
Hennessy and Do-Rags.
They could have easily just been like the mid-card champions called the Elite Champion or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Honestly,
I know it's named after their faction, but it's called All Elite Wrestling.
But yeah, I was gonna say, like, you still have the elite portion of it, and it's like it doesn't have to be like a United States Championship or, you know, like an Intercontinental. That doesn't have to be like regional. It could still be something of importance. And like, because dude, if they're handing out fucking plaques for 50 wins for just doing what you're supposed to be doing and getting paid to do, like they can give them a championship. Yeah, exactly, right. Like,
but people in the Hall of Fame starting next week,
bro. Like they're over here trying to put. I think they're putting Awesome Kong in the Impact Hall of Fame. That's good for her though.
That's dope.
Yeah, I think they only got like 5 people in there though. Like I think it's like her, Abyss, Kurt Angle, Sting. I don't even think they put AJ Styles in there, and he built the damn building. You know what I'm saying?
Christian?
Was Christian in there?
I'm not sure.
Maybe Booker T.
Wait,
no, Ric Flair. Ric Flair was in there. Yeah.
Wasn't Christian put in it while he was still under contract with WWE?
No. So what happened with that was they brought Christian Cage over for a talent exchange to be able to use Ric Flair, who was still under contract with Impact, to honor him at their Hall of Fame. So yeah, it was.
Ric Flair got 2 rings on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you remember, all of a sudden he started like walking out with 2 rings, doing that whole thing, helicopter, and I can't say that. My bad. Sorry. He said jet flying. He didn't say helicopter.
Sit down, Rick.
I am sitting down.
Your ass down.
Woo! I'm sorry. It's just, oh man. Anyways, but you know, one thing I did hear about Impact, besides the fact that they, I guess they have a pay-per-view today, their biggest one that we haven't heard about at all until right now. Deonna Purrazzo has been talking to, what's his name? Give me a minute. I know his name. Scott D'Amore from Impact Wrestling about wanting to work more with AEW, specifically with Britt Baker. And I heard that Britt Baker actually went to Tony Khan to do the same thing. So, I mean, I think that's a good thing because, I mean, not to go circle back to the women's division, but, I mean, when you think about it, they didn't really need to necessarily bring in a mid-card title instead of just lining up talent for Britt Baker to go through. You know what I mean? Especially when they don't already, it's not like they get an extended period of time. Like they have usually 1, maybe 2 side storylines going on simultaneously, like the Anna Jay, Tay Conti stuff. But now that's kind of crossed over with the Britt Baker stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now they're kind of doing it with the TBS tournament, which I don't know. Did you guys see those brackets? It was kind of weird how they gave like 4 women to buy, and then like everybody else has to, like, they're just waiting out who they're going to wrestle.
Well, I was like, it's bullshit, but it makes sense because like they have like us. Their women's division, like, okay, you can say the men's division is kind of like there is tiers to it, but since everyone's in a faction,
it's different.
Sometimes you're just affiliated in a tier. Like for example, like MJF's in a different tier than a lot of people, but he's always with Wardlow, so like Wardlow's kind of also in that tier.
Yeah, he's a little bit elevated. Yeah.
Whereas in the women's division, it's like, all right, you're either a former AEW women's champion, or we're gonna consider you in the future like Thunder Rosa, and maybe Jade Cargill, and then all of a sudden everybody else, you congratulations, you got like 3 wins on Dark, so that's why you're in this tournament. Like, yeah,
but it's, I don't know, it's weird because some like Hikaru Shida, she goes from almost getting a 50th win to having to fight. You know what I mean?
Right, like she should have a bye.
Yeah, I mean, but when they explained it, they said the top 5 women. I'm guessing number 1 would be Britt Baker as the champ. And then the other 4 would be the ones.
Wait, Britt Baker's in the tournament?
No. I'm saying because what they said was they took the top 4. They took 4 of the top 5 women. So I'm guessing number 1 is Britt Baker, and then they took 2, 3, 4, and 5 to give him the bye. Which that part makes sense. But when you look at the tournament, you're like, y'all could just do this for the women's title. You don't need to do this for the mid card. Y'all could just do this for now. You know what I mean? Because as far as I know, there's still a question mark. And if we're still going by the leaked Full Gear card, there's still a question mark next to who's supposed to be facing Britt Baker.
And if they renamed all this shit too, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of holding out on the idea that eventually AEW is going to have to make a business decision about some stuff with TNT and Warner Brothers and all that, and
I think it's
eventually and they'll just have to rename these titles at some point.
I mean, for me, I think it's a bad idea that they're even moving from TNT to TBS. I don't know if that has to do with the fact that it's been affecting some of their viewership when they have to account for like the hockey finals and
so
some
I
of their
believe
stuff.
I believe hockey's on Wednesday now.
It is on Wednesday.
Yeah, they made a deal with NHL, and NHL has deals with other companies, I believe, too.
That are bigger, way bigger than them. Yeah.
Like they have a ESPN now too, I believe. I don't watch hockey.
Okay.
I know, like my
seems
like I do. But,
I don't follow it. I mean, at all. I mean, obviously, when I was working at freaking the Honda Center, I was like kind of forced to make sure the Ducks were winning so I can keep getting work. But like other than that, it's like, we in the finals. Let's keep going. I'm trying to get this paper. You know what I mean?
Talking to the coach, like, hey man, I think you need to put this guy in.
You guys,
I need to show. I'm
gonna need this guy. I'm gonna need this guy in the ice bath stat. We got to save him for game 3, bro. I've been like, who the fuck are you? Like, dude, I run security. Don't worry about it. I've been watching.
Yeah. You going to overtime?
Bro, no lie. One time we had an overtime and nobody was scoring, and it kept going into double, triple over. And I'm just sitting up there like, keep the clock running, bro. I'm on double time right now. Let's go. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and I still got to get all these people out. Like, I gotta, do the traffic run. Like, we're gonna be here for about another 2 hours after the fact that they finally, So good money back then. But yeah, I was like, man, but TNT's such a good look. Like TBS, I'm just like, oh yeah, there's a Big Bang Theory, and AEW is coming on out there. You know what I mean? Or it's like,
I also feel like, if I'm being honest too, but like, I'm sure AEW is playing ball because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, 100%.
And Rampage is still technically on TNT.
And that then they should relegate the TNT Championship to be. I mean, would you guys agree that they should make it only be, if they're gonna kind of make it the television aspect of it, but without calling the television championship, should they only defend the TV or the TNT Championship on Rampage then, since it's not going to be on TNT anymore?
That sounds real Smackdown Raw to me. I don't know.
I felt that
it should technically just be on both shows, since they're basically owned by the same company.
Yeah, it's just so weird.
We have to do stupid ass title exchanges like we did last night.
Is Tina? What?
It's like Jade Cargill and Sammy Guevara just throw the titles at each other.
Dude, real quick, is Turner even? Is he still live? Is he living?
I don't think so.
I was just wondering where he's like, hey, I'm in the wrestling business again. Let's make sure we get our name on that title. I'm wondering like what I'm trying to gauge like where he's coming from.
Hot take. I feel like the TNT Championship was like a Cody Rhodes idea. Hot take.
I think so. No. I 100%. Like, I feel like that's 100%. Like, if not 100, at least 98%.
Because every AEW idea that I'm always like, has Cody Rhodes involved.
The first cage match, the blood and guts stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it. It's just, you can kind of, I don't know. So, it's kind of like when you see someone's fingerprints on certain things, you're like, oh, okay, I could tell what's going on.
I honestly feel like when AEW starts negotiating again, when their deal is up, this stuff's going to come up again. Like, hey, our viewers were this on one channel, then you moved us, and now they're this. That's not on us. That's on you. And we'll see. Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Because if you're loyal to the product, if you have TNT on your cable package, you also have TBS. So yeah. I don't know if it's going to be like when WWE goes from Fox to FS1. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like, if you have TNT, you also have TBS.
By the way, I know I brought up Turner. Just real quick, did you guys hear about these comments that Eric Bischoff had for Tony Khan?
No, I actually haven't.
I mean, I don't have it in front of me, but he basically was he was like, man, this guy just needs to, like, if I'm Tony Khan, I would just shut up and stop doing all this talking and put out a good product. I'm like, bro, you were in WCW, like trying to like, you were doing what WWF is doing now, but except you're doing it on live TV. You were giving out freaking results because they were like, you were the loudest talking motherfucker.
I think
now that I'm in my Now that I'm in my 70s, I'm a lot more mature now. You know.
Now that I've centered my chi in Utah, I've come to
who
realization.
made terrible decisions tend to see those decisions being made by other people, and they can't wait to tell them not to do that. You know what I mean?
See, and there's a difference. I think there's a difference between like, look, take it from me, and then being like, look, man, if I were you, because it comes on like, because I was like, it's because it was one thing where he was like kind of getting at him for the excessive trash talking, which I was not really a fan of. I would just like, you know, usual Tony, but he kind of cranked it up a little bit. And I was discussing this with my brother because I don't know if you guys heard that other news that there's been news, and this is what I was alluding to with the leaking stuff that WWE is doing on right now, is they've been leaking what they call the Fashion National information, which has to do with the ratings for the Nielsen ratings and stuff like that, as far as viewership and all that. Because their show is on a Friday with Smackdown and Rampage, their pretty much ratings aren't tallied until I think Monday. But WWE's been buying the information and getting the numbers from somebody and basically sending these numbers and to anyone who will listen to try to make it seem like that they're not as popular as they are, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, it's like what they're doing is, I mean, I'm not saying it's illegal, but it's obviously like you're getting access to information earlier than the actual people who are putting it out. You know what I mean? Just on some kind of dirty shit. Yeah, it's just and the thing is, the only reason I bring that up is I felt like that was the only reason why Tony kind of cranked up the talk, because he felt like people knew about it. He didn't want to comment on it publicly. But he felt like he had to kind of like try to stick it to them, because he's like, the same week that this news comes out about it, these guys are trying to quote unquote challenge us in our time slot, as he put it, for 30 minutes.
I feel like I know the numbers matter, obviously.
To people, yeah. So I mean, for me, I could care less. Yeah. At that point, yeah, absolutely.
The numbers matter, right? But when you push it to the people, it don't really matter. Like we do this a lot. I do this a lot because we all rap. It's one thing to brag about your album sales, and that's cool. But we all know who the better rapper is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, you can buy the numbers. You can specify the demographic on Wednesdays with white males at 2:45, like
from 18 to this. Yeah.
Like,
but like from the bigger picture, yeah.
Both. So just focus on
the quality
bangers,
of the
focus on putting out tight shows.
Yep.
And all of that stuff will start to make sense. You don't have to like play with the numbers. Just put on dope ass matches and stop arguing over the little stuff.
If you make dope shit, people are gonna want to watch
it. That's it.
Yeah.
Just be nice. You know who's nice.
And keep in mind too, like Tony's done a pretty decent job of just being like, hey, this is our thing. Don't worry about what's going on over there. But when WWE is like, no, we're just going to go an extra 30 minutes into Rampage on purpose, basically, because we want to affect your show, because they knew they were going to FS1, and there was a decent chance if Rampage put on a banger that they could beat them in the ratings, or at least beat them at least in the demographic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like WWE was trying to avoid it. So yeah, Tony Khan was like, you know, screw him, you know, like I know what you're trying to do. We're just gonna put on the better wrestling match, and we'll put on a buy-in thing while your show's going on.
See, this is a two-parter, because the only reason why I bring all this up is like Eric Bischoff. Like, it's one thing to say, hey, I think you're doing too much talking, and then it's another thing. He's like, because when I was running, and I'm like, okay, now you're making it about you. We don't care about what you did. We already know what you did, because you part of the reason. Like, look where you at. You doing a podcast now, like based on 83 weeks from what, 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So look, we already know what you did, bro. But like with what they're doing, like I agree. Like it's one of those things where they've done a lot of, you know, minding their own business and just focusing on putting out quality shows, right? Mm-hmm. But what I don't agree with is, why the fuck you gonna put Daniel Bryan versus Minoru Suzuki on the free YouTube show that got no bearing on your national like viewership at all? Well, I would have switched out easily the Bunny versus whoever match, put that on YouTube, and brought that that match to main event, or even open up fucking Rampage, since you know that they're gonna be on your ass about that first 30 minutes. Like, everyone's gonna tune into that shit. They don't care about the contract signing.
Shit, both sides. Just put on.
Yeah,
good
man.
shit.
I don't know. I
Stop
thought that was
arguing
just
about numbers, man. Who cares? The
yeah,
numbers don't
yeah.
wrestle.
Like the number, like but that's what's annoying about it is like, you know, but I think what it is because both sides have been talking numbers, and that's what's been the whole basis behind this Wednesday night war.
Yeah.
But now it's like that it's over. It's like, why are we still talking numbers, bro? Like I'm more on, but who had the better show? Same as you. Like
That's it.
Seth Rollins could talk about his bank account, but people would be like, but you ain't seeing Will Ospreay though. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just like for me, like Young Thug, right? Obviously got cake. But if I'm going between like, oh, if I got a chance to go see Young Thug for free or pay money to go see the homie Mac Lowe perform, I'm going to go see Mac Lowe.
Well, I didn't think you was going there.
no, but like I'm just saying,
It'd be more enjoyable though.
Like exactly, like because you know you're gonna get like, oh, that's cool, and I know he has money, but in terms of my interests, I don't really fuck with that. It don't really do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Put on some shit that people gonna like, man.
And that's what I was getting into it with somebody because they were talking about how WWE were like, or AEW fans are hypocrites. Because I brought that up a couple weeks ago about how the Seth Rollins, but my bank account says different, and but no one jumped on Tony Khan for saying the same thing. And I'm just like, bro, like y'all just, I mean, there's no hypocrisy, bro. Like it's like we over here in our own bubble trying to enjoy shit, and then y'all just like on some like y'all trick y'all like every time y'all trying to like, you know what I mean? Anytime y'all you feel like you can burst a bubble for AEW fans, y'all try to. Like that's toxic. Like we don't like I watch both, but I'm not like just saying WWE sucks for the fuck of it because I'm an AEW mark. Dude, it sucks. It sucks. Like
yeah,
it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm sorry the truth hurts, but I could be watching Impact. I could be watching Impact instead of AEW. I would still say that they suck. There's only certain parts I watch for, and that's just what it is.
And the thing is, like, they put on occasionally like a good match, or they'll do something that's pretty good. Usually, the Roman Reigns stuff's pretty good, right? But like, that's one thing out of 5 hours of wrestling a week.
Yes.
So, and to be honest, hot take over here. I don't mind Roman Reigns matches, but not all of them are bangers either. So like when he has his pay-per-view match in the same week, his is usually probably the third or second best match on the card, not the first best usually.
Well, you know what? I'll give credit where credit is due. I just said they suck, right? They actually had a pretty good show for Crown Jewel. I'm not gonna lie. It was actually a pretty good show. But it's funny because when as you say that, Brian, like I think to me that Roman and Brock probably had the third, I'd say that they had the third best match on that card because the Hell in a Cell opener was great. I thought that was, I don't think anyone was going to top that. But to be honest, I got to give credit to the women too. That triple threat was dope. I thought there was a little too much I felt like the pacing was just go. So there was always like all these intermixings of like, oh, these two are trying to do something, but then Sasha jumps off, and then now she's trying to do something, but then now here comes, you know what I mean? So I would have taken maybe 2 spots out of that, but they had time. They had time.
When they edit that for like 5 years from now,
yeah,
and they put like music to it, it's gonna be hard because they had a lot of
they had
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like you could tell they were like, we gotta do this, I'm gonna do this. Like they was trying to put those get all those moments in,
but like I was surprised the amount of time they gave him.
A lot.
And you know what? I got to give probably the biggest MVPs that night is the crowd. To be honest, they were really. A lot of people make fun. They're like, that meme that says WWE superstars breathes, and it says Saudi Arabia crowd. Oh, this is awesome. I was like, but when I actually looked at the crowd, they were like our age. They were dressed in t-shirts and
it wasn't too cool for school.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to, let me maneuver through this real precariously. Past shows that they've had, there's been a lot of the more traditional garb that they've been wearing that you'll see
like
in the crowds and the sofas,
like the family and stuff like that, right? Like
yeah,
remember
yeah, true. Like
the people who are in for like words, like the bureaucracy of
but like really close internally to and I think I remember, like I said, they had like the couches out there, like people were just chilling, you know what I mean? But they seemed really excited. They knew who everybody was. You know what I mean? Like,
and all the t-shirts. It seemed like this crowd was the most relaxed, but also the most hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
they were really.
It didn't seem like it was like a special thing, but everybody was just out there with their shirts on. They
were cheering for who they wanted to. They were booing for who they wanted to. They were excited. They made it feel special. They really did.
They played along. They played along, and a lot of times at wrestling shows, you got to kind of play along. So like when the heel comes out and he's the clear heel, you got just boo him.
And honestly, it makes it a little bit fun, right? But then you always got, I guess depending on the crowd, because I remember I got yelled at one time at Staples Center because John Cena came out. It was like me and two other friends were like, "Boo!" Right? This old like OG like gangster dude, bro. He actually he claimed Echo Park. That's why I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, why are you at a wrestling show, sir? But he was like, he just was drunk. He just came out of nowhere on some like, I mean, why y'all talking shit to the kids? I'm like, excuse me? Yeah, he's like, I mean, y'all, it's like pick on somebody your own size. Why are you getting mad at the kids? And I'm like, bro, what is the issue? I'm like, we all here to boo and cheer whoever we want to. Like they had to call security because dude was like trying to fight. It was ridiculous.
Spun it around his wrist.
It was ridiculous. Like it was the funny part though is it is what it is. I was with some white folks and they were like, do you think we should get escorted to our car? I was like, they're not in the parking lot. They don't even know what we drove. I was like, but
they're right in front of your car. They're like, we found it.
They were like, yep. You was talking that shit.
So how'd you end up in here?
You can't.
I got in a fight because some guys were booing John Cena.
Right? They're like, but are you like it? It was just some people are serious.
I would just tweet John Cena. My homie got arrested for defending you.
He's like, you got some bail, and he's like, you can't see the bail. Probably, bro. Sorry.
I was like, hey man, but did you do some hustle, loyalty, and respect?
He's like, I did. I tried to hit him with the 5-knuckle shuffle, but he never showed. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's I don't know. But you know what? This show was cool, man. Like, Cage, dude, that table spot that Seth took, like I was trying to explain it to my brother. I'm like, bro, like, he's like, wait, so he like ran it, like he got thrown into the cage and kind of like slid down. I'm like, nah, there was no gingerly about it, bro. I'm like, you ever like ball up a piece of paper and you see a wastebasket up against like a counter or wall and you bank, like he got bank shotted off into the table. And I'm like, that CrossFit, he knew what he was doing because as soon as he got hit, you saw him kind of position his body to take it all on the side. But I was like, thank God, bro. Like that was insane. Shout out to she goes by Lady Ref Jess, Jessica Carr, first woman to referee in Saudi Arabia, man. And first woman to referee a Hell in a Cell. So that was cool too. Yeah, that was cool.
Just 6 more years of this blood money and
just like but look at what we've done. Look at all the good we've done. Look at all the history we've made. You're not changing anything in Saudi Arabia, but I'm glad that your ref still ref the match. That's great. Yeah, it's just one of those. I mean, I don't know, man.
Well, the thing is, like, if I could be positive, I'm not. I'll try not to be a dick about it.
Well, I mean,
at least you're showcasing that the rest of the world, like, hey, we allow our women to put on a banger match. We allow our women to ref. Our women here do a lot of different things. So then now, hopefully, that translates to, hey, why can't we do that here? But
at least in some,
I know it's a lot more complicated than that. I know,
bro. I'm sorry. I just got this. It's
Eric Bischoff's like, hey, don't be doing women matches, or
I just got this news from Fightful. Fox is going to air an encore of Smackdown tonight. That's going to go head to head with Dynamite.
See, that's what I'm talking about. For what?
Because it says ALCS is over and there's nothing else to air in that time slot, so they're going to air a rerun.
No, I'm pretty sure WWE hit Fox up say, why don't we just run an encore of SmackDown because you don't have a baseball match now.
I don't. It's just
that's a little horseshitty. If I could.
I mean, it really is, to be honest. Like, it just, I was actually looking for this other tweet I was going to tell you guys about with the Zelina thing, and that was the first thing I seen. I was like, wait, what? I'm like, so y'all are just making it like, oh, we don't see them as competition. Hey, let's run against them as competition.
Because literally what's going to happen is nobody who watches both is going to watch a rerun. So you're not really winning there. You're just trying to keep people who don't have nothing to watch. If they happen to go from bottom to top, they'll hit your wrestling show first and stop.
Oh, yeah. They're like 11 or 51. Or depending on where you at. I mean, I don't think it's.
Chances are, if they're not watching this rerun, they're probably not watching AEW either.
I mean, if anything, if they miss Smackdown, they're probably watching a review show about it this morning. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Or they have it recorded, bro. Like I was watching Smackdown before we got on.
Well, you're gonna miss Dynamite, so you can see Charlotte throw a belt at Becky. Come on.
That was the most awkward, bro. I was like, so I love when things aren't rehearsed, but we have to have a plan when we go out here, okay?
Right. well, I'll be honest. Like, it really feels like ever since Andrade went to AEW, Charlotte's had this like, hey, if there's something I don't like, I'm not going to play ball anymore.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna give her credit because I just also read news that, and they had a great match. I thought that's how they were going to get the belt off of Charlotte and back on Monday was the match she had with Bianca Belair, that main event at Raw. They had a really good match, and it got messed up at the very end, obviously, because they got to sell.
Most shows ended weird this week too.
Yeah, I mean the go homes usually do, right? They usually have to they like to use the word kerfuffle and all that bullshit. But
chair shot, stare down.
But I got the chair, but I'm a stare down.
What?
I'm making a statement scene. Like, come on, man. But like, yeah. So, but the news is Charlotte went to bat to lose clean to Belair on Raw, but they didn't go for it. So, I got to give her credit.
Well, she was really against this title exchange thing, and either she got wind of it or she knew it was going to happen this way. So she was probably like, just have me lose my title. Like,
well, the other thing is, y'all could wait it out and just do something with it at Survivor Series since it's champion versus champion anyways, right? Like, could figure something out.
And you know what? You know what's crazy?
That's true.
When she was like, you want to be Becky 2 belts, we just have a match tonight. I got excited. I was like, oh, unify the belts.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
thing.
They were
like, nah, psych.
I thought that's what they were going to do. It's probably unify the belts, but
I'm not going to lie to you. Every time they try to unify belts, then they go through that weird holding period. Like they did it with the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship, where it's like, it's technically like
a Raw title, but
it's like, no, I got both. I'm like, that's fucking silly looking. Like,
I thought they were going to make it a thing,
when John Cena was
white.
like when John Cena was looping them together around his neck, I was like, bruh, I feel you, but
it would be super fucking clean though if they decided to unify them, and then like I don't like the belt design, but if they're gonna keep it, is you change the red or the blue background to just black, so it's a white belt with the black.
Yeah,
background.
that's what I'm saying. I thought in my mind, I immediately was like, oh, this is hard, and then just make it one belt, and everybody can fight for it across the.
Nah, because Roman's gonna want his own title still. He's like, I want the blue title, damn it. But I don't know. It's
BET champion.
Brought to you by the 5 Heartbeats, coming on 20 times a month.
Brought to you by Baby Boy.
and Baby Boy, and don't forget to catch all our Viacom favorites like Love and Hip Hop.
Next week, I defend my title against the Popeyes Chicken Lady.
Jesus Christ, man! And the whole cast of I can't even of the
American Dream, a Jackson 5 story.
There we go. Oh man. But shout out to Xavier Woods, King of the Ring. Yep. Some people were feeling weird about it, but I'm like, I think the people that feel weird about it are people who don't invest in him enough to know that this is something that he's wanted for a while.
And he's earned to have an accolade outside of being tag team champion.
That's why I was telling my brother. I'm like, he actually has something outside of not even just the tag team thing, but he has his own stuff, but it's outside of wrestling, like the hosting and the video game stuff and all that, the opportunities.
Like
yeah, you know what I mean. So, but like, but for something he can call his own, I'm like, King of the Ring's good. He doesn't have to hold a championship. You know, that's as good as a championship. You know what I mean? I just hope that maybe the crown gets a little bit too heavy for the king, and maybe he starts getting a little, because in my head, I when I saw him with the title or the crown, I'm like, reminds me of that Dave Chappelle meme with the crown when he got Oprah's money and he's like, no. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can see Xavier getting a little bit neurotic or paranoid about stuff. You know what I mean?
Or he kind of like Big Brother's Kofi a little bit, and Kofi's a little like, hey,
he's like, bro. But when you think about it, he's like, come on. I mean, I feel you, Kof, but I mean, I even did something you couldn't even do in your career. And I was King of the Ring. You know what I mean? Like,
and then Kofi's like, I won the fucking championship. Like, he just says it that way.
He's like, yeah, but
fucking Raw goes MA.
But then he's like, yeah, but you lost to Brock Lesnar. Like, no one can beat me for my crown. Like, he just starts taking like little pot shots when he.
I'm interested to see how they flip it, because usually it's a heel, and
I was just gonna say.
Like I was go into, I'm better than you, I'm the king, So
because that was what was weird for me too, is like when you look, there was two faces in the finals, so I was like, this is going to be different. But I was like, well, King Balor will be kind of cool because he's already been the prince. But then I was like, you know, you got Xavier, so you know.
But aesthetically, I can't see Finn walking around with that crown on.
I don't think he would. They told him to. He's like
a lot of people were thinking that because you know Shinsuke, he relinquished his, but then you would have thought they would have let him in the tournament for doing so.
You would think technically Baron Corbin and Shinsuke, who technically have a feud.
Nah, man, I'm like happy Corbin was good, but now that he has a guy with him, all cap.
I was gonna say, but being that both were former King of the Ring, Baron's the last one, and technically Shinsuke. You would think that you would put him in a tournament.
Kings of Kings.
And then Triple H comes out at the end, and then Pedigree's the last guy. And then
I was gonna say, like, you know, sometimes the WWE, I think they overthink it, and they should just be like, you know, there's technically no authority figures, right? So Kofi, not Kofi, Xavier could bring it upon himself that he's the king, that he gets to like run Raw. Or SmackDown. He's on SmackDown now, right? My bad.
Well, I mean, he did say in his speech, like, you don't cut the cameras until I tell you to cut the cameras. I was like oh shit.
It would be really interesting in like if the New Day kind of have a feud with the Usos or something like that, and then in like January, he's like, as king, I've been able to lift Brock Lesnar's suspension.
Dude, that'd be hilarious actually, because I'll get the SmackDown in a bit because that was kind of a little disappointing, and because you're like, as soon as they said that, you're like, oh, so he's gone again. That's fucking whack. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Even if he's just like
gone, like it's just like the John Cena thing. You know what I mean? Like they did all this stuff to bring him in, and then like, okay, now he's gone again. It was like
Brock Lesnar should be that guy. That's I don't know how they can make the contract work, but it's like show up once a month, F5 a bunch of people, and then leave. No one's gonna ask if Brock Lesnar's coming back next week. We all know he has a half-ass schedule.
Well, I think the problem with Brock being there once a month is it's in his booking, because when he's there, no one else has time to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you're Drew McIntyre, maybe if you're lucky, finally a Bobby Lashley. But when Brock's there, usually that title is, you know, locked in with whatever he's doing. And there's not a whole lot of, you know, they're not really pushing a whole lot of people for him to like put over, you know what I mean? But so when he's not there, that's when we get more, you know, like the Big E's and Bobby Lashley actually winning. Because I don't know if Brock was there, if we would have got either of those guys winning, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the only thing with his booking. And it's just because they book him so powerful that it's like nobody on the current roster could even touch him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if he's still there I think like if he was like maybe once every 2 months, at least a little bit more frequent. But obviously this was like, hey Vince, I'm kind of tired of hunting. Can I get some of that Saudi Arabian money? And I just want to dip out. I don't want nothing to do with Survivor Series. Fuck that.
Because like You're right, because he's always. I agree with that, but I feel like that's just been Brock Lesnar's like shtick since he's been here since
True.
2012.
That's
Is
very
that
true.
he, so at this point, I'm just like, fine. But the thing is, I would prefer if he just didn't always randomly get suspended, or if the thing is, we've accepted that Brock Lesnar takes time off as fans. We've been watching
Yeah.
for a while.
Right.
If he just did not show up on today's SmackDown, we would have been like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
That's the better
honestly,
way to
yeah,
do
we
it. Just don't let
without them
pop up
having
again.
the storyline it, yeah, we wouldn't have even batted an eye because it's like he probably will show up and do something on Raw or something because he made the statement of I can do whatever I want. I'm a free agent. So if he didn't show up on SmackDown, maybe we might see him on Raw. You know what I mean? It's just they don't allow us to have those possibilities to think about. You know what I mean?
They act like we're dumb still. Like they act like we don't know. Like they book it sometimes. Like it's funny because I watch a lot with my pops, and so like he's not into all the extra stuff. So every now and then I'll be like, "Oh, they did this for you," like because he still watches it
just
like
straightforward. Like yeah.
So sometimes they over explain something, and I can see him go like, "Oh yeah, okay, I remember that." Like he needed it, but he's also an old dude, and he doesn't follow it as tightly as we do.
Yeah,
but they write it and they make it as if everybody is like that. Like you don't have to.
No, they do. They and even like, and you hear it in their commentating, and it's like they commentate for sometimes a room of one or like just one group. Because there's times where I'm looking at Michael Cole, I'm like, Michael Cole, stop talking to me like I'm a child. I know, I understand because I watched it last week. Who in the right mind is gonna be flipping through channels and like, oh, what is this going on? And then, oh, I'm so glad Michael Cole was there to fill me out on everything. Like, it's a real seldom situation, but I understand they still account to try to get those fans too, right? But it's like,
whereas I feel like
how I can tell when they overdo it. Because if my dad goes, they're doing another replay, or my dad goes,
dude.
He goes, shut up, Cole. So like that's when I know. All right,
I like that. I like that
because like Excalibur on AEW is like he's a little bit more subtle. I'm not saying he's perfect at his job, but he's more subtle. Like if there's a new debut that you would be like, oh, these people might not know this person from the indies or from whatever, he'll be like, oh, that person who used to go by, or it's that person who used to or I used to wrestle with this guy back into the
there's certain parts where he's like, man, I haven't seen Mac Lowe since we wrestled in an abandoned barn house in Anchorage, Alaska, like 7 years ago.
That still doesn't introduce the guy.
yeah, you know what I mean? It tells me nothing. Okay. It's like, oh, you're like, oh yeah, you used to wrestle. No one's thinking about you. Like and no disrespect. It's like, bro, if you were a wrestler, then you'd be hired as a wrestler, but you're not. So
what AEW did recently though with Daniel Bryan, having him kind of keep the Fight of the Valkyries little thing, and then Adam Cole with his music, it made it so like we kind of understood it a little better. And like those are people we just saw a couple months ago, or
true,
or a week ago, But like, some of these people that debut in AEW is just like, if I wasn't taking, I know who that is. But like, but like, imagine the WWE trying to sell us on that guy. You know what I mean? Like,
it's
this guy has a dark past.
See, it's funny because for whatever reason, when you say that, I'm going like right to Joe Gacy and all that shit that they were doing on NXT. But one other thing I wanted to bring up, shout out to Zelina Vega, Queen. I want to call it the Queen of the Ring. I don't know why they can't call it that, but Queen's Crown
already has that name on Instagram.
But do they own it though? Is there a TM next to it?
You can get a hell of followers.
Is there an R with a circle? No, I follow her as well. But I mean, like, was she really gonna be like, nah, I don't want to help y'all make history because I got this Twitter handle though. Like,
I might help her get more followers, right? Because
I was thinking the same thing.
And Theodore Long is the judge, and then
shit, better him than the Undertaker. Then you're like, wait, what kind of court we doing, bro? I don't
know. What do I need to get out of my bag?
Why do I need to buy y'all a cases of beer for shitting in my shit? Like, what is going on?
What the fuck?
But yeah, she I thought, a lot of people were very wary because they were like, please don't give this to Doudrop. You know what I mean? And Piper Niven's dope. I enjoy her work, but what has she done to deserve it on the main roster?
Piper Niven is dope.
Doudrop is doo-doo.
Real talk though. Real talk. What has Zelina Vega done on the on the roster to get that either? So
I mean, she's been winning some matches, but like it's been very, very low key.
and this is what kind of gets me about this. If I'm going to go back to being a liberal sheep about the Saudi Arabia thing, is Shayna Baszler deserved to win this tournament, but since it was in Saudi Arabia, I don't think she could have won it because she's part of the LGBT community.
Oh snap!
That would have made so much more sense based on what they had her doing on Raw with who's it? Dana Brooke and
just looking at it, eye test. Shayna kills everybody.
Yeah,
that was in that tournament.
I mean, the only other person who could have killed everybody would have been a returning Asuka.
I was going to say, there's nobody more dangerous on the roster.
Or if Io Shirai would have came up, right?
That isn't in the title picture right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she's probably the most dangerous person.
I mean, I'm honestly surprised they didn't. I'm surprised they didn't give Naomi a spot on the SmackDown side to try to.
Nah, because she's fake fighting Sonya for.
Yeah, but I'm saying like for the sake of like she could have done something to kind of help that storyline too, where it's like, oh, we want to see her at least get something. You know what I mean?
Much, man.
Yeah, man, they over here trying to like, don't worry, we're gonna pull the fast one on them with a weird handicap match, but there's no tags.
Because how many weeks we gonna say, I want to fight you? No, you can't, and then they just walk away from each other. Like, bro,
get out of my face.
Just beat her up,
child. Just hair whip, and then just But this is some of the comments coming out about Zelina winning. Along with the liberal sheep propaganda and all this other stuff that we're talking about. But this is like actual tweets from people talking about Zelina winning. Tricked into signing right before her hubby's firing, losing streak, pulled from the MSG Smackdown show 12 hours before the 20th anniversary of her dad's death from the 9/11 attack. Finally gets put over on a propaganda show for the country that funded her dad's murder. Quote, we put smiles on faces. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's
same guy. That's
a little tweet.
For real, if you can make an argument that Zelina's been the recipient of the most mean-spirited WWE revenge booking of all time, that covers a lot of ground from, but quote, rebound from losing streak as part of literal propaganda for the country that financed her dad's murder is a new low. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Do
you think Zelina thinks about that?
I don't even think she responded. I mean, the thing is, this guy, this is David Bixenspan, so he's one of the guys.
What's his name?
David Bixenspan.
You can't be.
Hey, David, listen, David, do me a favor, get a fucking life, bro. Go outside, play in the grass, get a dog, ride a bike, go to the beach.
Find some joy.
Water rolling over your feet, but like relax, bro. Relax.
Yeah, just be happy for Zelina, right?
You said what?
Just be happy for Zelina. She got a good win.
That's my thing. Like I don't. Do I know that they're in this situation that I'm not necessarily supportive of with the whole arrangement what they have with the Saudi Arabia shows? But, I mean, I'm aware of it, but that's not for me to be like, oh, fuck them and diminish this and diminish. Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a fan, putting certain things away on the shelf to get into the show, get involved with the show, buy into everything that's going on, you know what I mean? For the sake of, what do they call it? Just, putting your imagination on, you know what I mean? Just, and then I got to sit here and read this shit, dude. I'm like, dude.
Bro, he connected so many dots to be mad about something that the person involved in is not mad about.
And Zelina's had a rough year with what's gone on with her husband and signing and losing her job and the Twitch stuff. Like, and for her to get this win, like, let's not put an asterisk next to this accolade that, like, when she leaves the WWE and she might not ever win a championship, she could say, at least I did that.
Right.
My thing too is think about what else they accomplished. First time tournament for the women in this fashion. They got to go out there and represent the women in this fashion. I mean, we joked about it before, like, oh, they won't do Queen in the Ring because they got the Prince there. And like we made our little snarky remarks, right? But they really did something. You know what I mean? Regardless of who we wanted to be in there, like she was in there. And on top of that, she's representing for her heritage too. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a big win for her. I mean, like you said, she had a rough year. I honestly felt like she deserved it. I mean, it gives her something, but damn, dude, like, yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, why we got to get relegated to, I mean, why can't we just, I mean, again, dude, we could have WrestleMania in the pits of hell. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to remember that's where we're at. I'm going to still just try to enjoy the show. But then you're going to be like, man, bro, only reason Brock Lesnar got the wins because, he got that sword on his chest and, the Satan loves some stupid, you know what I mean? Where they'll just try to connect and like, I mean, the only reason,
why you got to take the fun out of it,
bro? Like, I mean, and look, like this other tweet, I understand as well. I guess I'm a little bit more understanding of this because I did think it was kind of weird that they ran like the whole be a star thing there because I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that's important. But it was like the way he says, the message still worth sending to the kids, of course, but holy shit, at them doing a BA Star event funded by a dictatorship that kills people over the things that the WWE superstars are telling the kids not to bully anyone about. Meaning like sexual orientation, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
And I think that's what kind of like, if I'm going to add my own asterisk, which I kind of feel like I'm being a piece of shit towards Zelina on this too, because I'm happy for Zelina. Is Shayna was booked the strongest going into this tournament.
Yeah, 100%.
And I honestly believe it's kind of like a Sami Zayn thing. Like Sami Zayn was also in the tournament. In my head, I was like, don't put him in the tournament if you don't think they would be able to have the match at the end. Right? Like you could kind of make Shayna Baszler like she's too badass to be part of this tournament. She knows she's better than whoever wins it. You could book it that way. Sami Zayn is such in mid-card fodder that you don't necessarily you can put anybody in his spot.
Honestly, like for me, I'm like, why I would put an Apollo Crews there instead of a Sami Zayn. You know what I mean? With just the whole what he got going on, and
because it bugs me that like you're gonna have Shayna win, then go on to the semis, and then like lose. And in my opinion, it's because she can't have the match on the card at the pay-per-view.
Who did she? Oh shit, she lost to Dewdrop, huh?
Yeah,
I didn't even know. I didn't watch it, so I'm like,
doesn't make any sense.
Because I was thinking who would even beat her, and I'm like, the only person that wouldn't take her shit the week before. So they had to establish that,
right?
Just and so she could get the win. Oh, Jesus
and
Christ.
Maybe I'm looking too deep into it because maybe they just didn't want to have Zelina Vega beat Shayna because they're booking Shayna so well. Maybe that's it. But like putting the dots together myself, it's like, oh, I believe it's because Shayna couldn't have a match there.
That makes sense.
No, it definitely does. I mean, when you think about it, because Sammy's never been. Like, obviously him with, what he believes, he doesn't agree with what they do over there. And him being Syrian, obviously it's a huge, like, sensitive situation, but, and I don't think Sammy could shut up. You know what I mean? I think Sammy would be talking shit. Like,
and someone could fact check me, but I don't think Shayna's had a match in Saudi Arabia.
I don't believe so. I mean, because they haven't had a whole lot of the women over there. See, because that was
the other thing. Only bring like whoever's
beefing at the time, right? Yeah. Because one thing I was gonna say is like obviously they had the women covering up, you know what I mean? But it looked like was it me or did all women have like all full body suits on, but then they still had a t-shirt on over it?
Yeah.
I thought it was just kind of
but then I think it's a form fitted because it's so form fitting, they gotta cover.
Oh, okay. No, you know what? That definitely makes sense. Because the thing was,
saying makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah.
But the part that's bothering me is thinking that it's so deep that they would give Zelina a win as a way to shit on her. Like that, it's not a revenge thing. Like they're not like, oh, we're gonna he you won, but really not really.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Wouldn't the revenge already have been firing her husband and getting her to sign? Like, it's not.
That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, she already had to give up the Twitch too. You know what I mean? Like they've already won at this point, so I'm not too sure.
And she's playing ball. She shows up to work. She does her job. She's putting people over, I guess. I
mean, but so when you look at this
point, like she's part of your roster. Make the best of it.
But
she's gonna make a good queen. You know what I mean?
No, like, I was just gonna say, like when you look at who not that I don't think that Shayna would have been able to do it. I think Shayna would have cared less about the crown and all that shit, and just wanted to carry the accolade. But with Zelina, she's the perfect. I mean, I put it like this: I'd rather her play that character than seeing Carmella have another reason to go on about herself because it's already getting old.
Right.
And the fact that they can't decide on a theme song for her because every week she's coming out to a different song. Like it's the same 3 songs, but they keep picking. Oh, we'll do this one this week, and then we'll go. Like it's so weird, bro. Like I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed that, but she has like 2 or 3 different songs that she comes out to. I don't understand.
Is Carmella on SmackDown?
I think she went to Raw because I made.
I was about to say they better have because they put Aaliyah on SmackDown, right?
Yeah, because I made that joke about like, well, you know, I guess her and Corey about to be finally making babies or something. I don't know.
I just see Carmella and Aaliyah pointing at each other like a Spider-Man meme.
Let me see. Yeah. No, you know what I was thinking too? I was like, they had to move. They had to put Hit Row on SmackDown, and then as soon as that happened, they made sure that we had they had to only put they had to put Bianca on the other show because we can't have her, Naomi, and Sasha Banks and B-Fab all on the same show, can we? Yeah, hold on, what are we doing? I'm like, yeah, y'all scared because they might come up with a dope ass stable and they're like, oh shit, this is the new nation.
Super colorful right now too. Like it's
who's that?
I said, shout out to wrestling being super colorful right now.
Yeah, dude, like
color across the board, like killing it.
Yeah, I mean, even you know, just I know we kind of I don't want to say we glossed over it so much, but just Big E fighting Bobby Lashley to win a world championship, like
that was dope.
That don't happen all the time. You know what I mean? Nope. So you know, I thought that was definitely worth mentioning. But you know what? I did love, speaking of Big E, the match he had with Drew was awesome. Mm-hmm. I mean, that definitely played it. You know, I know we're going to get into it towards we're warming up our first top 10 list. So I was going to say that match definitely pushed a few points as far as influence on the top 10 on my end. But you know what? Roman and Brock, they did good too. I liked it actually. I liked it a lot. There were 2 things that were too obvious for me with that. Earlier in the night, they had Paul Heyman, and he was like, I'm going to walk out with the reigning, defending Universal Champion Roman Reigns, and I'm going to walk back out with the Universal Champion. I'm like, ... Oh, you're just going to leave it open-ended like that. I'm like, all right, so nothing's going to... You tease the swerve, so it's not going to happen, right? And then they had the moment where, you know, you see Brock literally on purpose, like, hit the ref. Like, he was like, where you at? Okay, come here. Boom. And then he goes, What do you mean you're knocked out?
Remember, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Like, I'm gonna
touch me, Charles.
His ass.
Dude. Like, first of all, I definitely remember those videos because we used to quote that shit around the house and like just random shit like crab brain and goon. But like
his ass.
But bro, like, yeah, it was the whole, you know what to do with it, and you just throw. I'm like, so you don't just slide it to Roman?
But that got on my nerves. But I will give Paul Heyman props. His toss game is very good.
No lie. Hey, it's better than his handcuff game. It's better than his handcuff game. Because I was like, oh, he lined that up real nice. It was right in the middle. But I was like, maybe he's gonna backtrack on SmackDown and like, well, I knew he was gonna go for it, and I knew we had the Usos in the pocket. So, but you know, they didn't go that way with it. I mean, they kind of teased it a little bit. But the
Usos funny as hell, dog. Did you see the way they came into the ring? Like they came up like this, and then they came in and did the kicks, and then they just sunk back down.
It was like, oh, you think we gonna get you back for those clotheslines? Like whoa. Nah, it was they had a good match with her business too, even no matter how fucking random it was. Because it was like
Cedric Alexander grill, he got a mouthpiece in?
I think so. I don't know, but then again, you know, you had Ali wearing eyeliner for some reason. I don't know what that was about either. You know what? I'm not gonna say that. I'll just say it is worth, because you know we were talking about the crowd that were really in it. They really treated this like a WrestleMania because they had that whole reveal. I don't know the guy's name, you know, but he representative of Saudi Arabia. He took the silver medal in karate at the Olympics. Yo, that got a really big ovation for them. Like, it was
fair. The only reason he got silver was because in the gold medal match, he knocked the guy out and got disqualified because you're not supposed to knock the guy out.
Yo, but my thing is this though, like, you don't know you're gonna knock somebody out. You just take. I mean, especially
if
you fighting for the gold, you're supposed to go for the gold.
He slept that.
That's the WWE giving a DQ for kicking too much ass.
Yeah, dude. That's a DQ and a TLC or in a Hell in a Cell match. It's like, yeah, seriously. Oh God. But I got to talk about it before we move on to the top 10. Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. It wasn't that bad.
Like if we're putting this on the Goldberg scale.
Yeah.
Goldberg, this is great.
I will, and I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you mean when you say that because I felt the same way. I will say one of my favorite parts was when out of nowhere you see Bobby Lashley just kind of sneak that chain out. He was just like, I'm about to
right at the top,
I'm about to sneak these shit out this dude. But then the fact that he didn't sell it, like he's just sounding like he's just getting beat down. I'm like, bro, like
I thought when Bobby turned around and hit him with the first,
I thought he was gonna blast him, right? And he's just be out, right? Because I was like, yo, Seth Rollins just used the same chain to super kick Edge in the face.
Word.
And then all of a sudden,
like he's about to die. He's about to have a stroke.
Like he just got shot. like Arn Anderson just put him out of misery, bro. And I was just like, yo, like, but so I like that. And then I was like, oh, he ain't even selling it. And I'm like, no holds barred.
He was bleeding up here.
Yeah, I did see that. And it was like no
Goldberg
holds.
just bleeds in random places. It's just...
He's like, oh no, that was me. That was self-inflicted.
Like, I don't know.
And then like it was just weird because it was a no holds barred, and then last minute, oh, and this false count anywhere. I'm like, that's not how no holds barred matches work. And I'm like, oh, y'all made a false count anywhere because you needed it for the finish, because you needed him to kill Bobby in some fashion after all that tough talk. And I was like, all right. I wasn't a fan of how long it took for the Hurt Business to get involved. If it's no holds barred, y'all should have been out there from the jump.
They should have just jumped him.
They should have just
be
jumped
more
him.
Matches when that's a stipulation, and you kind of have like a shit heel out there to just go in there at the very beginning and just beat the shit out of the babyface.
Bro, they could have beat him up during the entrance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And while they take the hits like they usually do, the crony roll, then he comes from behind and sneaks in with the chain. You know what I mean? Then they just work together. Like they could have easily beat up this 50-year-old man. You know what I'm saying?
No, but he's Goldberg.
No, he's Oldberg, man. He ain't none. I mean, look, I'll give him a 10 out of 10 for the jackhammer because it was nice. I was surprised he got that on Bobby as nice as he did.
He's been practicing for fucking 3 years.
I mean, he must have been.
Can't do it. But he did it today.
It's like it's more, because now it's more of like a hanging vertical suplex than it was.
Oh, he's shooting like 25% from the field right now as far as the jackhammer.
He's like, yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'd rather take a spear because I know it's going to be a low speed.
He's low speed, Ben Simmons
low
from the free throw
impact
line with those jackhammer hits.
But I was trying to explain to my brother the whole spear off the stage. He's like, so wait, how did it happen? I'm like, it could have been better. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, because they went the width of the ramp as opposed to having a running start where like he couldn't burst. He didn't have the right burst of speed to run into it and just kind of take him into it. He kind of just had to run, pick him up and just like, hey, we're going over. You know what I mean? But for a 50-year-old, yo, I'll give it to him. You know what I mean? I'll give it to him. So and it was funny because they're like, this is what I hated. He had Michael Cole going overboard as usual. I didn't think we'd ever see this style of Goldberg again. And I'm like, well, you never seen this style of Goldberg ever. And then as soon as they say that, then they show Bobby Lashley walking already. You're like, oh, he's already up. I'm like, yes. I'm like, yes. No, don't sell this shit, bro. I'm like, for sure. Yeah, you're still a destroyer, bro.
He's just like kind of like stretches out his back.
He's like, where's the women? I need the women. Where's MVP? Get the women back in here. I need help. But yeah, that was pretty much crown jewel, man. Like I said, they had a pretty good percentage from the field on the show. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, it wasn't like cursed like most of the other shows have been, whether it's jackhammer going wrong, whether it's Triple H getting hurt in 5 minutes, Shawn Michaels missing a moonsault that broke my heart.
I thought you was about to say Shawn Michaels missing an eye. That's crazy.
Shawn Michaels missing hair. It hurts me to say this, by the way. I am a Shawn Michaels fan, but he's no longer the boy toy.
He's something else.
He's yeah. I ain't got nothing for it right now. But things about that time, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Top 10. Obviously, we went through what was going on. I don't know. Did you guys happen to catch Rampage by any chance? By the way,
I caught some of it.
Just the important parts.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Pac versus Le Dolo was nice. It was real nice. I'm glad there was no shenanigans this time, because I totally forgot about that taser business. God damn, fucking stupid. But I forgot about that part as well. But anyways, how y'all want to get into it? I mean, I know.
So I think like there's probably 5 or so wrestlers that we all agree on. Then we should probably give our confidence points on those. And then when it starts getting a little tricky, then we'll probably just start randomly saying like, hey, I have this person at this amount of confidence points. Does anyone have the same? And then hopefully at the end we have 10 people.
Okay.
I think
we're doing this on the fly. Do we have a special name for the top 10 list, or is it just like our top 10 list?
Oh, no, yeah. Mac has a name. I don't know if he wants to
I think we're gonna
drop
go
it now.
Flow chart, correct?
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you want to drop it now. I don't want to.
Yes, sir.
It's like he may have some graphics in the tuck. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll probably have something up before the next show on the Instagram. So.
And we gonna reach you with these algorithms. We kind of figured some things out. Did some restructuring with the social media. So sorry, Lil Duck 64. We ain't sending nothing your way no more.
Yeah.
But I don't know who wants to go first. Are we going with whoever we got as the number 10? Or are we going from the least up? How y'all?
We can put our 10s out right now. I think it's one or two. It's one or two guys.
Yeah,
I might have a different 10 than you guys then.
You probably do.
Man, I mean, yeah. I mean, I for 10, I put the tribal chief. I put Roman Reigns.
Okay.
On the board.
So Reigns has 10.
That's why I put for
already. All right. How many points did you give for Reigns?
10.
Okay. I gave Reigns 7.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm interested to hear who your 10 is.
All right. So he has 27 points so far.
There we go.
All right. So should I just say my 10 then?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Hangman Page.
Really?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he has 10.
I gave Hangman 5 this week.
Okay.
I gave Hangman a 4.
See, and it's just funny because like the reason I only gave him a 5 because my 4, I was like, he did more than him, and I haven't seen him the whole week. He ain't done shit.
Damn.
So Hangman has 19.
Okay.
All right. Undo Kenny. We can do Kenny now.
Kenny.
Yeah. I was like, he's so well. Kenny, I got Kenny's for 4 points. He's my.
Oh.
He's the reason why I put Page above him because I was like, I ain't seen nothing from Omega.
If I could be real about it too, they've had 2 main pay-per-views in a row, and
true.
And although they haven't been bad, and the triple threat was really good, but on paper, a triple threat with Orange Cassidy and Pac, and then Christian Cage is the next one. Like Kenny Omega, in my opinion, hasn't had a real main event match in a while.
Like no lie, I'm surprised that it hasn't just been him and Pac straight up one-on-one because of their history. I mean, I know they squeeze it into the triple threat, but I'm like, bro, I don't know anyone. I mean, besides who, obviously they look like they're going to be grooming potentially Hangman to take it. I'm like, Pac is someone that for sure could take it from him because he's already beat him before. But but yeah, that's
funny.
Yeah, how many points did you give Kenny?
See, only reason I did this was because in my mind I'm picturing the list, and I wanted Roman Kenny to be 1-2, so I gave Kenny the 9.
Okay, I see you.
No, you're good because I gave Kenny an 8.
So yeah, he's still up there. I mean,
because like I kind of like have it in this like technically no one's like, and he still has very entertaining segments every week. So it's just like, but the thing is like, in terms of like, in my opinion, how AEW's like structured right now, Hangman's the more over. He's the one who won the biggest match more recently. Stuff like that. So, all right. So right now, Kenny has 21 points. All right. Do you guys have Brock Lesnar on your list?
I do not.
You do not. Do you?
No.
He almost made my list, and I took him off last minute.
So my list. All right, then I have him as number 9. So he's just got 9 points. All right.
I figured we're not about to see him, so he just.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, I can't really just base it off the current storyline because I'm like.
So I figured the way I kind of thought about it is like he's number 9 this week, and then most likely he's going to be off the list next time we do the list.
Because I kind of wanted to. There was somebody else I was trying to get in, and so when I needed to sacrifice a position, that's kind of how I thought about it.
Because I was thinking like, if you guys had him, he would have at least a substantial number to be middle of the pack. But since you guys don't have him, he might not make the list.
Yeah, I was gonna say he
gave him a 9.
Yeah, I gave him a 9 because I was like, he's in the best WWE storyline currently, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the Paul Heyman stuff's good. And he had a good segment yesterday on Smackdown and a decent match at Crown Jewel. So I was like, you know what? He's up there. So
okay.
But like, yeah, he might not make it. So so I'm assuming we all have Big E.
I do. Mm-hmm. I got Big E for 6 points.
Okay, I have him for 6 points as well.
I think that's for 7.
That's what's killing me is Maclow's facial expressions when I give him my points. He's like, "Oh, do you?"
so
I'm not alone in this.
That's 19 as well.
Oh, okay. So he's
so him and Hangman. So we'll probably have to. Yeah.
Can I tell you who I gave my 9 to?
Yeah.
Or wait, did we already calculate Big E? 19.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I gave my number 9 to Bryan Danielson.
Oh, okay.
I feel like he has been actually more active than I anticipated, and he's been putting out bangers.
And he's like the workhorse.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I mean I put him at a 9. I don't know if anyone else had him on your list.
No, I have him at an 8.
Okay. So I have him as a 4, and the only reason he's a 4 is because I kind of put all the champions above him, and then the people who are in the championship feuds above him.
So I think he just tied with Hangman, I believe. I think he
has 8. Wait, you have 8. You gave him 9?
Yeah, I gave him a 9.
8, 9, and 4.
Yeah, the 21. Yeah.
Well, if he has 21, then he's tied with Kenny Omega.
Oh, Kenny Omega. Oh, wait. Oh, it's Kenny Omega. That's 21. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Hangman has what, 19?
Yeah, him and Big E have 19. So we have to figure out a tiebreaker. Do you think the tiebreaker is whoever has? I was gonna say whoever gave him the highest point total. Like if someone gave him a higher confidence point.
Oh yeah, okay, we can do that.
But the thing is, Kenny Omega has 498 and Daniel Bryan has 498.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, that's why I was like, that's
not familiar. For our sake of the argument, I would put Kenny above Daniel though.
Because he's champion?
Could we all agree that he's above Daniel?
On the list? Yeah. I would still put Daniel on the list, but I wouldn't put him above Kenny. I mean, in terms of work rate, I would, but in terms of position, Kenny would be, yeah.
Or if there's a point total, we could do a 2-1 tiebreaker kind of thing. Like we all take a vote on who should be higher.
Okay.
That's true. That's true.
It's either gonna get 2 votes or 0 votes. You know what I mean? So
how many? We only have what, five people down? Or am I?
Yeah. So technically Brock makes the list if he has a higher point total than our lower guys.
And then Roman Reigns was what? He had 27?
27.
Yeah, Roman Reigns will probably clearly be number 10 at this point.
It's almost a perfect score.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that's
sorry guys.
No, you're good. I got for my number 8, I got Adam Cole.
That's a good shout. I don't have Adam Cole on my list.
The only reason is because I felt like he probably only rivaled by Bryan Danielson's work rate. He's been putting some work in too since he's been on. Like he hit the ground running and been actually hitting matches instead of just like milking it. So you could say the same thing about CM Punk, but he's not on my list at all.
Well, the thing about my list, if I'm being honest, is I try to have some kind of parity. Like you could probably make it just the top 10 of all AEW guys. So I try to fit some WWE people in there.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
And so Adam Cole, like I agree. I think he deserves to be on this list. I don't have him on my list simply because I couldn't have like.
It's just not enough spots for everybody.
Yeah.
To be honest. Yeah.
So like, he'll probably be on the list maybe by the next one or the one.
I gave Adam Cole a 3.
Okay, so Adam Cole, I'm gonna put a little note down here. Adam
So he was
Cole has
11.
3, and you gave him 8.
I gave him an 8. So yeah.
Oh, he's gonna beat Brock Lesnar. All right.
And he didn't have to shave his head to do it.
Dude, Brock, I'm not gonna lie, I like Brock Lesnar's like a farmer dude. I'm just here to F5 people. Then
I think that's how he just.
I love his haircut, dude.
That's how he moves his
off
cows,
the
bro.
like an anime character. Like he really just does this and then flies off.
It kind of looks like when he was with Paul Heyman, he had like the track pants and the shirt, and he was like, he looked like an athlete, like with a client. But now that he doesn't have the advocate anymore, he's just like on his own. He's like, I let myself go,
just
but I
a
can
farm
still
boy.
kick everyone's ass.
Oh man.
All right, so
Whoever wants to go next, by all means.
I have Xavier Woods on my list. Does anyone have Xavier Woods?
I don't, but
I gave him a 1 because I wanted him to be on the list because I feel like he should be on the list.
I gave him a 5.
You know what?
And that's recency bias. Like,
I can put him on my list because I really don't. I mean, I can put him in my number 1 because it's fine.
who's your number 1?
Just for the sake of putting him on there, it was John Moxley. But I mean, when
I have John Moxley on mine, so do you want to take John Moxley's point away, or do you want to let him have his point?
I like Xavier.
It's
all biased. Like, no, fuck John Moxley. But I mean, I'm thinking about who had a bigger week, or the bigger couple weeks. But I mean, dude, he did just drop Wheeler Yuta on his fucking dome for nothing. Yeah, I'll switch it up for Xavier, man.
So you give him 1 point?
Yeah, I'll give Xavier 1 point. Because I mean, I don't think just because you won a GCW championship that gives you 1 point just for the sake of giving you 1 point. It's like
that makes sense.
So I switched it. So damn, you know what? I actually have 5 AEW guys and 5 WWE guys on the list. That's actually pretty impressive considering they don't have a lot of people.
I do. I think mine's like at 6'4".
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 5'5" actually.
Damn, I did the same. Nope. I think I went 6'4".
Okay.
Who'd you guys have? I mean, yeah. Oh, you said How much did Xavier Woods have?
7 points since you gave him an additional point.
Okay, so Brock Lesnar beat him. Xavier Woods for 7 points. All right. I put Malachi Black up there for 7 points.
You gave him 7 points. I gave him 1 point.
I mean,
at least he's up there. I mean, I gave him the reason I put him so high on the list is I feel like not just work rate, but segments, promo. Like he been killing it. Like he ain't struck out yet. You know what I mean? So I had to recognize that consistency. That's the only reason I put that 7 up there for him.
Wow.
I mean, and his wife just won, right? So, come on, Mac.
Hey, however you come up with your numbers, man. That's all.
Hey, is that your criteria? Cool. But so was he on? You said you gave him 2 points, Mac?
I gave him 2.
So what he has 10 points total?
Yeah, it's 10 right now.
Oh, at least he beat Brock. Surprise.
I'm kind of, now that I look at my list, there's a guy on here that I'm like, you know what? I don't really think he deserves this spot, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I have Drew McIntyre for 3 points.
I was going back and forth whether he deserved to be on my list, and ultimately I said, no, you suck. No, I ended up not putting him on there.
I feel like he's been a really solid glue guy.
Yeah.
For Raw, and then the feud with Big E, and knowing that most likely it's going to transition to a feud with Roman. Like he's going to be top tier on. And
I mean, he kind of got Big E ready for whatever is going to be his next big challenge too.
Yeah,
he really helped get him over in that regard.
But like Drew is someone who I feel like is going to be off my list. Like when he's
And-
not in a big profile match.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I agree because he's gonna be just in some random like, oh, him versus Dolph Ziggler again for nothing. You know what I mean?
I'm assuming that you guys don't have him on your list, or
I don't have him on my list.
so he's just gonna have 3. He's probably not gonna make the cut. All right, which is fine with me. And then I have Moxley for 2. And it is because he's GCW champion, and the GCW stuff has gotten a lot of steam in the last 2 months. With like,
It's just, I mean, I know I'm biased because it doesn't really do nothing for me. I used to watch ECW, but it's just like the whole light tube thing and the fucking food skewers getting like,
I'm not a fan of it, but
every
like,
match like that, I can't, bro. I can't.
the thing is, like, I feel like he took it off a guy who was actually very popular for beating Nick Cage, which was Matt Cardona. And then he just had a match with Nick Cage, and John Moxley's still a very high profile AEW guy. So I feel like he could like sneak on my list with 2 points, but like he's someone who might be off my list in 2 months.
I mean, I'm pretty certain that he's going to be facing Daniel Bryan at Full Gear because that was one of the leaked matches.
Might keep him on there. So.
Yeah, I was going to say because I know that was one of the leaked matches for the card, but it makes sense because they're both in the tournament on different bracket or different sides of the bracket.
So I give him 2 points. Did you guys have him off your list?
Yeah, I took him off my list for Xavier.
He got 5 from me.
So he has 7.
Yeah, just because I know, even if I don't rock with him that tough, I recognize the impact that he kind of makes week to week with people. So I kind of put him up here because I'm trying not to be biased.
That was a real grown answer, Mac Love. No.
Yeah, you wait. Oh, there's more.
All right, so I have everyone on my list is accounted for. So
really? Okay.
So everyone, if there's any more guys,
I just have 2 more. I had Bobby Lashley at 3.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else had Bobby Lashley, and I had Seth Rollins with 2 points.
Okay. So 2, 3.
I don't know if anyone else had any.
Did you have Lashley or Rollins back?
I didn't. I took Lashley off at the last minute, and I don't have Rollins on it.
Okay.
All right, so 2 and Lashley is 3.
I got one more pick.
It's a sleeper.
CM Punk.
Oh, you did put him on there. I'm
All
actually,
right.
that's real surprising.
For you. Yeah.
That's what you meant. He's like, trust,
I
there's
gave
more
him
coming.
6 for the same reason I gave Mox, because I know the impact, and I think he still has the momentum from the comeback, and I'm trying to give him
That's true. In
space right now.
In terms
of
of,
if he drops, but I think middle of the pack is kind of where he should be right now.
I mean, in terms of moving the needle, he's still definitely, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's one of those people. I mean, interesting too. I was talking about the Tony Khan comments. Like I guess CM Punk actually went to him and said, like, don't change the format of the show to battle what they're doing. Like keep whatever you had planned, but just make sure I go on first. Let me open the show. You know what I mean? So I thought that was kind of cool where it's like, you can't go with the Vince McMahon and like, hey, so let's not do another opening of Raw with an authority segment. Let's do something different. No, we're not doing that shit. Like, you know what I mean? But
how many points did you give Punk?
He gave him 6.
All right. So he actually he's gonna beat some. He might make the list. All right. Without doing the math in my head right now. All right. So Roman Reigns is clear number 1.
Yep.
So all right. Number 2 would go to either Omega or Danielson. If I'm doing.
Yeah, we have to vote on that one, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So my vote would probably go to Omega because he's champion.
Okay, I'm beat then. I was still gonna go with Danielson. Just again, I think he got a lot of momentum right now. I mean, when I think that's the other thing, I'm thinking about momentum, and I can't remember the last time I saw Kenny on TV.
No, that makes sense.
So in a couple of weeks, we'll revisit it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is. I haven't seen any outlandish outfits.
So in a couple of weeks, are we gonna be like, hey, is Reigns still 10, and then are we gonna vote on it, or are we gonna do confidence points again?
I mean, you know what? Because
just vote on the positioning at that point.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, we may want to introduce somebody new to the standings, depending on what happens. I mean, that would have to be someone that just flew in like a bat out of hell and just made some shit happen.
Maybe November's tricky, so let's not do it this November, but maybe after every major pay-per-view, we should redo confidence points.
Okay.
I'm down for
So
that.
like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania,
Okay.
AEW Revolution.
Hey, he just
Double or
skipped over
Nothing.
day one. Don't be skipping over day one like
Wow.
that.
I was
No
like,
TLC this year.
I was like full gear. I was like full gear. I was like, oh, we'll make sure we do it after Fastlane.
Oh yeah, we got we do have full gear coming up. I think what the 12th, the 13th.
So I
or something like
figured like since that's still like that's like right around the corner, we won't do confidence points for that one.
that. Okay, for sure. Because I was gonna say John Moxley might get like I said, he might still be on the list by then for sure.
So that puts DB at 3 then for sure.
Yeah.
Does that mean that okay, I was wondering about this. Does that mean whoever is not voted gets taken off the list, or they're just relegated to the position
next
below?
spot.
Okay,
The
that
next
makes
spot.
sense. So then now we got a vote on Biggie and Hangman Page.
I'm gonna go Page
Hmm.
because I gave him 10, so I had to stick with that.
I'm going to go Big E because he has the championship. That's probably the biggest part about it. But Hangman Page,
Tiebreaker, huh?
yeah, that Hangman Page promo is what only reason that he got even that high on my list at all, to be honest.
I'm gonna go Big E.
All right, Big E's number 4, and then Page is 5.
So would that make Adam Cole 6? I think he had 11.
Yeah, he had 11. So Adam Cole is 6,
Okay.
and then that would put Malachi Black at 7, right?
Yeah.
And then I single-handedly got Brock Lesnar.
Brock
on this
Lesnar at
list.
number 8. Yeah. But watch. This is gonna be funny. Like he's not even gonna be on the list. Like there's no movement from the list in the next couple months because he's not gonna be there.
We'll probably
It's not an
just
up
I'll
or a down.
probably just open it up with the vote and be like, you guys think he should come off? And then you'll be like, yeah, he has been on TV. So
You're like, well, like we got to replace him with Braun Breaker. No,
we could have a rule too, like because we're gonna revisit this in 2 weeks. So like,
Yeah, you know what?
If he hasn't been on TV in 2 weeks,
it's been kind of evident that we have no NXT guys on this list at all.
oh, Braun Breaker.
No Ciampa, no Gargano, no. I mean, not even the ones we like.
I wrote his name down, but I couldn't bring myself to put a number next to it.
Yeah, I feel that.
Makes sense.
Right, and then so we got Brock at what, number 8?
Yeah.
And then it's a tie between Xavier and Mox for 9 and 10.
So yeah. So I would give mine to Woods then.
Ooh.
I'd give it to Woods as well. I ain't gonna lie.
Same.
It's unanimous for the king.
All right, and then CM, and then you know what? If you guys want, just because we might have to revisit this anyways, I'm gonna put like HM for honorable mention right now on my paper. You don't have to do this, and I'm gonna put CM Punk because he was 1 point away from getting on the list.
Yep.
Because it'd be because number 10 would be Moxley. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Because the 6. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Hey, that's a solid top 10, man.
Yeah, it is. Brock Lesnar. Drew's looking at Brock Lesnar like, how?
And it's 5 and 5. It's 5 and 5.
Oh, it's still 5 and 5? That's crazy. Okay.
Balanced. Perfectly balanced.
Yeah, so that they can't be like, oh, y'all ain't got nothing but AEW faces up on that.
Right.
Like, well, tell them to do better.
That's cool. I'll send this over to our graphics
department.
That up on the IG.
Yeah, this is gonna be dope, man. I definitely enjoyed discussing this, man. Before we go,
next week we do the women's division, right?
Yeah, I'm down for that because
ladies.
It's funny you say that because I actually had a little bit more news. I was telling you guys about the Charlotte Flair stuff, and then more stuff just came out. This is all coming from Fightful. Obviously, like I said, she campaigned for Bianca Belair to pin her clean on Raw. Says understood that she's a huge fan of Belair and believed that the finish killed what could have been a big night and a big win for her. But also goes on to say that no one involved was happy about the title switch segment, and it was debated throughout the whole day. Goes on to say the Flair and Lynch friendship has been strained for some time. I have not known this. People close to the situation say that Charlotte didn't appreciate being called plastic during a promo a couple of years ago, and it's been come on, bro. It's been a couple of years ago. It wasn't even like new.
Just square up and get it out of your system.
For real. It's been tense ever since. So I just was thinking, I'm like, I never heard that they had beef or anything like
I
that.
don't even remember her saying it.
I think this, you know what, this must have been during the WrestleMania triple threat with her and Rousey. And obviously she said that because obviously she had fake boobs, but I mean, she got them taken out since then. So
you know what I would have done.
Wait, you think she got them taken out because it bothered her so much that she said that?
What I would have done.
I'm not gonna give her the satisfaction.
If this was gonna be your idea and they still plan to do Survivor Series the same,
yeah,
like I would have just been like, after they have the match with each other,
yeah,
then one just like they do the handshake respect bullshit, and then they hand each other their different titles. So at least it looked like it was like not necessarily that anything was on the line, but it happened in a more like less hotshot booking manner.
Like it seemed like it was actually planned. Something I don't want to say it's like more ceremonial, like but you know what I mean. But it makes it seem you sensationalize it more than what it really is, right? Like you try to make it feel special, and it's not just like it's not what everyone knows what it is. You're right. You try to hide that fact, but
and it kind of makes it a little bit like low key. Right?
Well, the other thing I was thinking is like, dude, they could have sold the story with Becky, like because technically she was the last women's champ or Raw women's champ before she left, and she never lost the title. She just gave it to Asuka.
Right.
So it's like y'all could have, say, well, you know what, this is the title I never won. This is my title anyways. You know what I mean? And then
let's draft it to the other show because we don't see. Like, why would you draft her to the other show and then if you knew this is how it was going to end? You know what you're gonna do. So
well, I mean, maybe
and you had Crown Jewel to figure it out. We'll see. To figure it out.
But maybe the situation is based on what we just read, them not having a really good friendship anymore. Maybe that's why they had to split them up. Maybe that's why they had to put Becky on the other show because they didn't want to work together.
I don't know, man. So give Bianca the title to hold one.
Well, I mean, that's my thing. It would have made sense for Bianca to go in as Raw Women's Champion. So, I mean, even if she wasn't going to win, she's still walking out looking good, and she looked great in the match, So
hold on, I probably zoned out.
Gorilla press, by the way.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I was responding to my wife when you're probably talking about this. So, who doesn't have a good friendship?
Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch.
Oh, I assume that. Okay.
Right. I had no idea. Like I mean, it's just they're usually on two different shows, anyways. But I was like, oh, all right.
But they're gonna face each other at Survivor Series, right? Is that just gonna become like a fucking shoot fight?
I don't know. I mean,
I hope so.
Are they facing each other? Is that what they said?
I would assume.
Well, so. Yeah, you're right. Because that's usually how it goes, right?
Like if they, I would love if they just did Survivor Series like
a regular pay-per-view.
5-on-5,
and then square that out. Maybe the tag champions versus each other, right? Just because you don't have a whole bunch of you don't exactly have a plethora of tag teams to choose from nowadays, right? And you're not building anyone
like
in that space to do it. But yeah, like maybe 5-on-5 traditional, maybe both tag team champions against each other, and then the rest of it actually a fucking pay-per-view. Like, yeah. I mean, and then of course we gotta save 30 minutes for The Rock.
I wouldn't mind if they just did it where like they still want to do bragging rights, but it's all on the 5-on-5 match.
What's the difference between bragging rights and stomping grounds? Like I just never. It's like because like they used to like plant their flag like, and I'm like, why does everybody get their own flag? Like you guys are marks for each other. Like this is so weird. This is so weird.
You're thinking too much.
Michael Cole, wasn't there. Michael Cole wasn't there to reel me in. All right, he didn't tell me what I was supposed to know.
Break it down to me, Michael Cole.
Break it down. Oh, I know y'all heard him again. Well, I think you guys know what it is. It's money time.
It's money season.
No, he said money time this time, and I was like, I'm like, I gotta remember that. I gotta quote that for the show because
I missed a couple episodes.
Be like, it's my money and I want it now.
Yeah, that's how this is my money.
I missed a couple episodes, so I don't know if you guys have already discussed this or not. But Beck's time or whatever.
Did he say that?
No, but that's on her Titantron thing.
It says Beck's time.
I believe so.
Or I thought it was Big Time Beck's. No.
Fuck, that's even worse.
I mean, but she's been calling herself that though. Yeah, she's been calling.
That says Like her little.
Yeah, I saw the glasses. It says Bex. Maybe I got it.
Yeah,
Maybe I got it wrong.
it's
No,
big,
because it's boss time is Sasha's, right? So my bad.
yeah, because I
Sorry,
think it
I don't
says
watch the
it says
product.
big time in her like the shades of her glasses,
Yeah.
and then it's like Bex underneath, which I was like, this is a graphic that she would not have. Like this character wouldn't have. It's so
Sasha
weird.
Banks graphic.
And I mean, am I the only person that thinks that they need to find a better team to do that Roman Reigns animation? Because
It
it's
does not look good.
It's not good.
It does not look
No.
like Roman at all. It looks like
No.
the homie Junior that went to school with me.
He honestly looks like a little more like Snoop Dogg with long hair. Like
Right.
it just
The big dog.
and I'm like, oh man, this is so weird. I don't know why you just don't put up like a bunch of ones or something. I have no idea, bro.
That's Romeo Reigns.
That is Romeo Reigns. It's like, and then of course they can't even let their own younger brother use the Uso name. They got to call him Solo Sequoia.
Sequoia.
Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you be able? Like, I know they probably want everyone to kind of like maybe get themselves over, but like, wouldn't you want there to be like, hey, I'm an Uso too, and look at what the Bloodlines do on SmackDown. I come from the same pedigree. Look at me on NXT. Blah blah blah. Wouldn't that make you more
Nah.
interested in the character?
Nah.
Or
Like-
I'm Rick Steiner's son. Okay.
I'm Bull Buchanan's son, but my name's Jensen. I can never get over. I can't get over it because Jensen to me is not like and no offense to anyone named Jensen, it just don't come off hard to me. It just don't.
Imagine getting beat up by a name named
He's
Jim.
like- that's what I'm saying. That's dog. That's literally what I'm trying to say.
Maybe that's
Like-
the gimmick.
like
Like,
you-
everyone
you-
goes backstage and I just got my ass kicked by a guy named Jansen.
Bro, like you would be quick. No, it was this dude named Brooks. Wait, you got beat by a dude named Brooks? Yeah, Brooks. It was two of them. That's why it's
Like-
plural.
Well, like, what the hell are they coming up with these names, dude? It's like, let them.
Ah,
like,
man. Well,
Why don't you ask the
My
wrestler what their
wrestling
name
well,
is?
like the Solo Sequoia thing, I'm like, dude, you guys already OD on the alliteration thing. You got was Lash Legend, you know what I mean? And yeah, exactly. I mean, the only reason, yeah, bro, because yeah, I don't even want to get into her. The only reason I give her a chance is because I heard she had I think it was a WNBA background.
Mhm.
So that actually was interesting to me. I was like, I want to see how that go, but
That character is not tight though.
it's nothing. It's
You know,
doing nothing.
And,
for
and
me.
if they don't want to give, because I heard, maybe the Steiners don't want him to use his name, just let him go by his real name then, Braun Rick Steiner. And then people would be like, oh, he's just going by the actual surname instead of, like,
yeah, I mean, it's
that's a
for
way
me,
around it.
I'm still with like Rex Steiner. You know what I mean? You got Rex, which is a popular name for a dog. You got the dog face gremlin thing built in. It's kind of, I mean, he looks like you can't walk by a dude named Braun like, oh, that guy's name looks like he should be Braun Break. No, he looks like a Rex. Like his personality kind of like, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, the only thing with Lash Legend, I'll tell you this. It was a good thing that they had the segment because I did enjoy the Tony D'Angelo guy moving in the trunk thing. But other than that, like, I don't know what Lash Legend is doing for me personally. I don't know about y'all, but that's
Braun Breaker
just-
was signed by the Baltimore Ravens as an undrafted free agent fullback and was released a few months later.
Shout out to the Ravens.
He's like, thank you for giving us Braun Breaker. We appreciate your organization.
I wonder if the wrestlers find out what their new names are and just go,
That's either they're like, that's none of the names that I submitted.
Bro,
on the list.
imagine
On their Google
somebody
survey?
telling you your name about to do Dolph Ziggler, and you end up having to stick with that for like 15 years.
Bro, like it's so weird because I thought I was the only one that thought about that. I'm like, there's only two other Dolphs, and that's Dolph Lundgren and young Dolph. And young Dolph, he showed up after you, and he more over than you, bro. Like it's
Oh my God.
and then he
What the
picked
fuck is
Ziggler. He
What
picked
is a
Ziggler.
Ziggler?
Like the fact that you have to call your move the zigzag must suck so much. Like, right? Like, and I like Dolph Ziggler, but like I feel like he's
Dude,
that
name
guy.
is stupid.
It is, and I feel like he fucked himself over with
He
that.
just
'Cause-
made it work as best he can, man. He did his best.
and I don't even know if he even pitched it, but he's like, yeah, so you're gonna be Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, you're gonna just walk around introducing yourself, shaking hands backstage. It's
Well,
like,
I'll admit though, like some wrestlers are good enough, and Dolph Ziggler has been good enough that you don't think about how shitty his name is. You just go that's Dolph Ziggler. But now that we're talking about shitty names, we're like, we should probably revisit Dolph Ziggler.
it's like, but with that Braun Breaker thing though, I don't know. Like, because what it is like they spell it with 2 Ks, right? As opposed to just using like a CH to like kind of not make it so on the point. Like, you know, like it's too much. But I will leave y'all with this before we sign off. You know, Bound for Glory's today. Didn't know if you guys are gonna support the homies, but there's a report that speaking of Braun's, Adam Scher, formerly of Braun Strowman fan, has been spotted in Vegas. So
I'm gonna go find him right now.
You should let him know. Show him the city.
Do you think some wrestlers just fly themselves to cities just to make people talk about him in the press?
I would do
even
that.
if he doesn't
Absolutely.
show up.
I think so. I mean, but the thing is, I would hope he didn't do this because he, I guess, reportedly flew in from Chicago. So I'm like, it ain't like a hop, skip, and a jump. That's a 6-hour flight just to try to get clout.
That's a solid plane ticket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, dude, like it's at least like $300 to $400. I mean, this is him. You know, he probably got some leftover cake, you know, from the 90-day and all that. But still, like, fuck. Man. We'll see. I mean, maybe maybe he's one of the 15 TBAs.
You're gonna get these feet.
You're gonna get. Oh, you're gonna get these fists. You're like, no. We can't say that. I'm telling you, that
these hands
of like I'm telling you, brother. They should have just had him tag team with James Ellsworth, and then
I want to have him cut a promo though, because like if he's just going out there like. Well, oh
wait, I don't have to wear these train conductor clothes anymore. I don't have to do this. I don't know. I mean, you know what? Look,
dress like I shovel coal for a living.
Yeah,
the only coal I shovel is Michael Cole.
I got these coal miner's gloves that keep on my person. Like it's just.
Do you mind if I wear camouflage pants?
And if not, can I wear the same color green shirt? Like it's I don't know, man. Like I'll say this.
So sweaty.
I wish him the best if that's what's going on. Even if that's not what's going on with him coming back to wrestling. I don't want nobody to, be in a bad position.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I don't want you. My bad, Brian. I don't want those hands and or feet.
He's like Mac Lowe, huh? I'm following you. All of a sudden, Mac Lowe has a new follow. He's like, no.
I heard you guys were talking shit. Like,
he's a DM. Drop the Addy, dog. You're like, why are you talking to me like that? I don't know who taught you how to speak this way?
He said he's the kind of guy who sends you voice messages via text.
Yeah. He's like,
so you have to play it, but it's like super low, and you're like, what the fuck?
You're like, what? Man, hey, put the.
I'm not finished with you
yet. And then at least another one yet. They separate. You know what I mean? It's just enough pause in between so they can't sue him for it. You know what I mean? It's like, no, that was a complete sentence, and then I started a new sentence with yet. So it's so separate, but. You know what? Shout out to everyone who is always tuning in to what we do, man. Appreciate y'all. You could always support us by following us on Flow Wrestling Pod on Instagram or Flow Wrestling Show. I'm sorry, Flow Wrestling Pod on Twitter and Flow Wrestling Show on Instagram. We drop every weekend, man. Usually every Sundays. That's on YouTube as well as SoundCloud. It's still working on the iTunes. I don't know what's going on, man. I should just give you all the logins, Brian, and just you show them who's boss and let them know that. We just dropped the top 10 and they don't want to, drop down a notch. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I don't know, fucking iTunes. What the fuck? But yeah, man, be sure to follow myself at Quincy Jones Go. Follow Mac Lowe at Mac Lowe. And of course, Brian Andrew at Brian Andrew _. But also tune in to check out the LA Clips forum as well. Podcasts are doing everything LA Clippers, whether you love them, you hate them, you want to know why there's a passion for them, why there's a fan base for them at all, talk to this man Brian Andrew. He's going to let you know everything under one roof. Again, at LA Clips forum.
Not to be confused with the clips that go in glocks when you put it in somebody's forehead.
And I spill it on the concrete.
Arn Anderson's listening. He's like, this is not what I thought this was going to be.
He's like LA Clips.
I thought this was going to be a forum of old guys who,
like,
Talking about the old days.
Damn, Cody, this motherfucker's spitting.
Yo, Taker, this isn't the same podcast you told me about.
No, he's so busy introducing Pitbull in the middle of Saudi Arabia. So there's that. But yeah, man, this has been the Flow Show for the Love of Wrestling. Until next week, we're gonna let y'all know what the top 10 will hold in the future, and I guess we'll have to talk about Bound for Glory if something happens. Are you gonna watch it? Are you gonna watch it?
No.
I guess we'll Instagram, do your thing, and let us know what's up. Until next time, it's been for the Love of Wrestling. We out. Peace.